All right, welcome to my Primus Rig Rundown. So the setup that I've been using to prepare for my Primus audition. I am within 12 hours of leaving on the plane, and I just wanted to say at the start of this that if you want to find out more about the process of what I've been doing in terms of the preparation, then I'll link the newsletter that I've just sent out to all my newsletter subs below, and you can have a read about what I've been doing in more detail over the past couple of weeks and how I sort of view all three amazing drummers that have played with Primus over the years and just the experience so far in general. So yeah, that will be linked below. That will be linked below. For now, enjoy the rig rundown. Any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, talk to you soon. Cheers.
All right, here we are, the morning of the day that I'm flying out for my Primus audition in LA. I put up a post recently of the kit, of this incredible kit that I've been using as my prep kit. And I said I was going to do a rig rundown video, basically just talking you through what I'm using and the reasons why, because, you know, we're all nerds at the end of the day. And so, yeah, before I start doing other things in the room, I thought I might do that. So look, this is light and breezy, meaning that I'm not taking the kit out into the main room and lighting it in a really incredible way and doing all of that. I'm just going to show you guys what I've been using, quite relaxed and not overly thought. So yeah, let's have a look. So I have been using the Yamaha kit again, and there's a couple of reasons why. The main reason is that I still use Yamaha for all of my international stuff and have been since my contract ended with them officially 3 years ago now. So I had a three-year contract with Yamaha, and then during COVID, the contract ended and we didn't renew. But we are in talkings now about renewing, as I've still been using them internationally. Their drums are incredible. They've always been incredible, super consistent, love them heaps. I still love my K-Drums kits as well. So my two K-Drums kits are made by Ben here in New Zealand. But just when I go international, it's just good to know what I'm getting when I'm out there. And like I say, I still love and really, really appreciate the Yamaha drums. So I've got the hybrid oak set up here. Let me just do a little wider so you guys can see. So I've got the hybrid oak, and the sizes are, I've got 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and then I've got the 22 by 18, and then over here I have the 20 by 16, and that is run by my second double pedal and the slave pedal. So the reason why I'm running an auxiliary kick drum is because there's a couple of bridges in their songs and Primus's songs where the drums, the bass drum sound has more of a gong bass drum sound. So it's like just an alternative kick sound to change up the tone of the song. And yeah, so there's no dampening in that kick drum. That's how I've generated that sound. So if you have a listen, bit of a gong sound to it as opposed to... Jesus, that sounds incredible. So let's talk about the gear. So yeah, as I said, I'm using the hybrid oak 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. These are all practical choices. I've been using bigger kits for a while, but I think to like truly adhere to the three generations of drummers that have been in this band, 3 up, 2 down on left and right, really caters to that. I wouldn't want to do it with anything less, that's for sure. I've actually been running kind of this 2 up, 1 down, sometimes 3 up, 1 down setup for a while now anyway, and I'm super comfortable in this vibe, so this is great. Having the floor tom over to the left has been quite interesting. So the songs that I'm auditioning with, one of them requires it, so that's why it's over here, and then there's another song which is called Electric Grapevine. And that song, the groove was built around the 14-inch floor tom being on the left-hand side. So that's a Tim Alexander groove. And yeah, like I say, it's built around having the floor tom on the left side. So yeah, I've just been getting familiar with using it and utilizing it the same way that he does. And yeah, so that's the drums specifically. I love 3 up, 1 down, or 3 up, 2 down. 3 up, 2 down. I did my drum clinic this year and I had 2 up, 2 down, and for years I've done 3 up, 2 down. So yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with these different setups and this one specifically. So in terms of cymbals, there is a reason why I'm using what I'm using, and I'll run you through that now. So what we've got is, actually, sorry, I'm using the 2 smaller octobans as well. So these are 6-inch Tama octobans, but these are the smaller of the 4. So the smaller 2 of the 4. And yeah, and the way that I've tuned the kit is that it should ideally be basically all a drop down from the highest octoband to the 16-inch floor tom. So let's have a listen. So yeah, I really wanted that full effect of going down as we go down the sizes, which is why the 3 toms are actually quite low and much lower than what I'd usually have them at. Because I wanted these to be higher. Now I'm using my 13x7 steel K-drum snare. I love this snare. And I will be taking this with me as well. When it comes to cymbals, I am using, first and foremost, my 13-inch Exist hi-hats. So these are beautiful hi-hats. The bell is really, really articulate, and they just have a butteriness to them that I've always enjoyed. For this style in particular, with like really articulate doubles, these are perfect for that. So that's why I'm opting for these. A smaller, tighter, more articulate sound. We'll go to the splashes next. So I'm only using 2 splashes in this setup. So I'm using an 8-inch and a 10-inch trash hit. These are great because they're super short. And why I opted for these splashes is just basically because they sound more orchestral to me. So they have more of a percussion, sort of percussive sound to them. They sound more interesting. Then we've got 2 crashes here. So, well, I say 2 crashes, but this is actually the 15-inch hi-hat top from my Exist Dry Dark Brilliance, the very thin top that I no longer use, as I've got 2 bottoms for the hats now. And this works really well as a crash. I've been enjoying that. And then I've also got a 16-inch traditional, which sounds absolutely fantastic. And then over here, I'm using an 18-inch Exist Ion, which coupled with the China and the stack on this side is more like the EFX side, I suppose. So the reason why I'm using smaller crashes is because Primus just does not use big boomy crashes, and Les has even said that he's not into boomy crashes. So having these on the kit has been really, really good. I mean, I tend to use 18s and 20s, but for this sound in particular, 15, 16, and 18 is more than enough. So this is the sound of the crashes. All great sounding, a lot of fun to play. This is the sound of the hats too. Then we have front and center, a set of 10-inch micro hats. So what I've done here is I've put together my 10 Ion top, my 10 Exist Ion bottom with the 10-inch Dry Dark as well. So this is actually from an Ion top. So there's a top hat for this that has holes in it, but I don't really like to use it like that. I like to use it in conjunction with my dry ox hat bottom, and it just sounds super nice. It's got a lot of chunk to it, but it's got that nice shimmer to it as well. So I'm using those obviously as a closed hat option because there's plenty of tracks where the grooves go to a closed hat option while on double pedal. Now, speaking of double pedal, I've got my new old tune double pedals. And I'm undecided yet whether I'm going to take the long boards or the short boards. But I've been using the short boards for all of the rehearsal and stuff, all of the work that I've been doing for the last week or so. What else have we got? I've got 2 bells on the kit. So I'll show you this one. This is an 8-inch Exist bell. These are beautiful. And then I've also got an 8-inch Turk bell, which is also beautiful, and you hear them in a second. But Agop graciously sent through all of their bells, so 6 in total, three 6-inch options and 3 8-inch options, and yeah, these are the ones that I opted for. Pure tone, absolutely love it. And yeah, like maybe if I was to get the gig, which whatever happens there will happen, but if I was to get the gig, then I'd probably add a couple more bells, and I would definitely add a couple more splashes as well, probably one on the crash and then another one sort of here-ish somewhere. But yeah, like I say, this is definitely more than enough for what I'm doing at the moment. Then we've got my ride. So this is a 20-inch Sultan ride, and I've been using this for quite some time now. I love this ride. So it's got a super articulate bell, but nice stick definition too. And then I've got my 18-inch Turk China. I love this China. It's not too loud, it's not too aggressive, but it still gets the job done. And I'm also taking my stack as well. Now, Primus doesn't use stacks. Like, I've never really heard the drummers, apart from Jay. Jay likes to use a sort of stack over here as one of his crashes. So he used two crashes on top of each other. I always have a stack in my setup regardless. So if we're getting a jam on, then I can lay into this if I need to. So in terms of cymbals, yeah, I think that's everything. We've got the bells, the crashes, the micro hats, the splashes, the stack, the china. Yep, that's all that. And then what else is there? That's actually pretty much it. I don't really think there's anything else that I've forgotten here. So that's been the setup, and that's been why I've been using specifically this setup. Like I say, if I was actually to get the gig, I'd probably push it out a little bit more in certain areas. But man, I mean, you could actually do the gig on less. You could do it with one bell. You could do it with quite easily with one up and two down, which is what Brain did. But I really love the 3 up, 1 down. So that is my setup. Shout outs to all my great companies that have been helping me out over the years, specifically recently, as I've needed their support for certain things. So, Vincent have always been great. SE Mics as well. So these guys look after me really, really well for everything that I do. Old Tune Pedals. Agop obviously, and Yamaha and K-Drums. These guys have been great. And I use all Yamaha hardware, and I have done ever since I've started playing Yamaha. I love their hardware. And I think that is about it. Remo heads, so I'm using the coated Emperors on top and clear Ambassadors on the bottom. And then I'm really favoring the old controlled sounds again. I've been loving these. So yeah, in terms of what I'm taking with me, so they are providing a full setup at that end for anyone that needs it. So that even includes cymbals, octobans, a gong bass drum. So Les is actually a drummer, and I'm assuming it's one of his setups, but I am taking my 13x7 K-drum snare, as this is very much part of my sound. I'm taking all my cymbals just because, they sound fucking incredible. And I am taking my kick pedal as well. I just haven't decided on which I will do now. I think I'm going to take these guys, the short boards, just because I've been jamming on them quite a lot. So that is my setup. Please feel free to ask me any more questions. I may have missed something. And I suppose I'll keep you guys posted and see you on the flip side. Cheers.